In today's Legal on 4, protecting your kids while you're away. Many parents may be apart from their minor kids for a number of reasons. Kids are going with their friend's family on a trip, they're staying with grandparents while mom and dad take their own trip, or they're staying with relatives while parents are working. Whatever the situation is, who's going to make the legal decisions for them if you're unavailable, especially like emergency health care or treatment? I was tasting the sushi and it's so good, but the little rice vinegar kind of got to me. That's what I get for eating. Anyway, our legal contributor, Craig Wisdom, joins us now. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, no problem.
Now, you know, people don't think about that. Like,
No.
let's say, you know, your friend's family's going to Rocky Point and they want you to go with them. It's important to have some kind of a document.
It is, and I've got to say it's very rare for any parents to take advantage of this, but the solution is very simple. As you say, let's say you leave the kids with the grandparents while you get a well-deserved weekend away. And what happens if that child needs to go into the doctor or the hospital on an emergency basis, or gets, even if it's something as simple as, you know, prescription for an ear infection or something like that. The fact is, unless you're a parent or a legal guardian, you normally don't have any legal authority to make those type of decisions or to sign on behalf of a child. So what do you do? Well, Arizona has a very nice, simple solution, which is a special form of power of attorney, which we call a delegation of power of parental authority. That's normally what we call it in our documents. And it basically says, look, for the next week or whatever, if I'm not able to make decisions for my child, my dad, who's taking care of our kids, has the illegal ability to do that. And you get it signed, you get it witnessed, you get it notarized. And now whoever's staying with the child, whom you trust to take care of your child, has the legal ability to sign for them if they have to go into a doctor or hospital.
And like, give us some examples other than a hospital or a doctor where that might come in handy.
Well, that's going to be the main one for a very short-term situation. If it's a longer-term situation, it might be dealing with school on behalf of a child. You know, sometimes if it's a prolonged where the parent's away from the child for a prolonged period and they need to enroll in a school or something like that. But technically, you know, you think of all the times where you see, you know, needs to be signed by a parent or guardian. What if they need to go see an R-rated movie? Well, that's probably not. But seriously, the things that require a parent or guardian to sign off, it can be any sort of legal document, it can be a release for things. And true, in situations, a lot of times these things aren't going to be vigorously enforced, but if push comes to shove and someone needs to make a legal decision, this gives someone the ability to do it. And
you say that this is for a finite period of time. How long? How long?
There's a limit to how long you can set this for, of 6 months. So you know, for instance, if you leave your kids with your parents all the time while you go to work, you might have to redo this every 5.5 months if you just want to have it indefinitely. But you can also put a period in there, so if you're, you know, they're going up with your neighbors to Phoenix, it may just be for a weekend, and it may say right on the document that this is only good till the end of June 2011. But it can't last longer than 6 months.
Like if the parents are, like, let's say the kid's going to Phoenix for the weekend and something does happen and they don't have this piece of paper, what happens?
Well, obviously, I think most hospitals, emergency rooms are going to try to take care of the child. They're not going to let something happen. And of course, if at all possible, they're going to try to get a hold of the parents. So perhaps, especially in the worst case situations, something will be done. But, you know, it may be even more relevant in the situations that aren't as drastic, but something needs to be done. You know,
and is this something that you have to see an attorney about, or is it something that you can buy a form for?
It is probably something that's a pretty simple form. We do them for people as attorneys and such, but it's probably just about as simple a legal form as you can get. Because it's not part of the normal estate planning suite of wills and powers of attorney that most people do when they set up their plan, I'm not sure how many form libraries have this particular one and how particular it is to Arizona. But it's the type thing, if you went and saw an attorney to do it, it wouldn't be a great deal of money, and it's something you could probably reuse and redo the form later on.
And it's something that could come in real handy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Craig. Really appreciate it. Well,